Listening is, I think, a passion of mine. My thing is we're all so much more similar than we are different. We just don't get a chance to talk to each other, and that's what it's about. I think my biggest desire, my biggest dream has been creating a space where those intersections take place more often. Maybe those conversations would ripple out, uh, and the listeners of them could possibly grow in more compassion and empathy.
The way that we're going to come to understand what these experiences are like for people and families and communities is by actually authentically listening to what's going on. When we understand how carceral systems, for example, impact children, families, caregivers, communities, from the perspective of those who have lived it, I think it's going to give us a very different example of what is true.
What I'm really excited with this project is listening to all those stories and bringing them to life, and so that more people can see the variety of experiences just within this niche area that people often overlook and don't understand. And so with the listening project, really shining a light on those stories is what brings me so much hope.
The listening project, which I'm really excited about because you're listening, you're hearing the positive, childhood experiences that foster resilience, that foster that connection, that lead to, healthy outcomes for kids and their parents in prison. And so I'm just really excited to be part of this, and I'm really excited to hear those stories because I think by listening and hearing those stories and not having an agenda for what we want to hear, we're going to find answers because the answers are in those kids and those young adults, and they have been this whole time. So I'm just really excited to listen along with you.
I hope that at the end of this, the listening project allows us to ask better questions. It allows us to, rather than generating action toward what we think to be the problem, my hope is that through actually listening to the lived experience of people, we can shift some of our action as a community, as a culture, as a society toward plans, policies, interventions, strategies that actually address the root of the problems.
What I hope to achieve through this experience as a co-host is creating a space for young people to feel autonomy over their stories. This isn't a project just to evoke emotion from stakeholders. It's really an opportunity for them to listen and understand how they can better support these young people, from policymakers to DOC administrators to the general public.
I'm hoping through this listening project that we can start the conversations. That we just start there. We just start having hard conversations, bringing on people. Maybe that sparks something, and maybe it'll create some movement, some narrative shifts, and some policy shifts. And so that's my hope. I think the first thing you've got to do is you've got to start talking about something. And I think when you are talking about decisions made on behalf of children, then we need to be informed. We need to know, and we need to listen to them. If it's about them, then they should have a voice in that.
There is a violence in silence, and in silencing people who already are at a disadvantage. But the minute a compassionate group of people are willing to not look down, but come towards and have conversations, hope that groundswell in bringing others together on the behalf of people where there was a real felt need, that would create meaning where hope was lost before.